Now, 1 Corinthians 1:19 and 20 tell us how foolish and completely ridiculous the world's ways are. And if you don't already know that, let's just take a look at it and remind ourselves. For it is written, I will baffle and render useless and destroy the learning of the learned, the philosophy of the philosophers, the cleverness of the clever, the discernment of the discerning. I will frustrate and nullify them and bring them to nothing. Where is the wise man, the philosopher? Where is the scribe, the scholar? Where is the investigator, the logician, the debater of this present time and age? Has not God shown up the nonsense and the folly of this world's wisdom? Now, I think that if you can't look around today and see that man's ways don't work, then you're just not looking. I mean, there is so many totally, completely, unbelievably ridiculous things that go on in our world and governments and societies and people's lives today. And God has already told us that's not going to work. But we keep trying to do it the way of the flesh, the way of man, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Honestly, and I don't necessarily, I don't say this out of any kind of pride at all, but I think I could sit down with a lot of those people and I could solve a whole lot of the world's problems in about 5 minutes. I mean, it wouldn't take a panel of experts, and you could too, because we have the wisdom of God. Now listen, here's the thing. As a born-again believer, you have options. You don't have to live off the top of your head. If you notice all the words he used there, he talked about philosophers and scholars and debaters and logical people who just live off the top of their head all the time. I don't care what we think about anything. It's what God says that matters, because God will win out in the end. It's just like ignorance gone to seed out in the world today. It's just like, just unbelievable. Let's just think about a few things here. I've written down a page full of things, just kind of how the world looks at things and what the Word says about it. The world says be greedy, save everything you can, look out for number one, which is yourself, of course, and maybe someday, with any luck, you'll have something. Take care of yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will. The Word says, don't be greedy graspers. Give a portion of all that you gain away. Care about others. You don't even need to worry about yourself, because God will take care of you. And you will also have peace and joy. You have options. Which one do you want? The world's way or God's way? Amen. Do you know how amazing it is to know what we know? We need to be praying for the world, because just to know what we know is an unbelievably amazing blessing. So many people are living in complete darkness because they just don't have any knowledge. That's why I love to be able to do what I'm doing. And I'm grateful that I am on a lot of television around the world, because everybody's not going to church, but everybody watches TV. And I'll tell you, there's a whole bunch of you right now, you flipped this program on accidentally, and you're still sitting there with your mouth hanging open trying to figure out, what is she doing? Well, she's got a strange voice. What does she think she's doing? Boy, she's a in-your-face, loudmouth woman. Well, just listen. Just listen. Amen? Because you know what? I've got the life that many of you want. And I didn't get it playing games with the world. I started that way, but I found out that God's ways are much better. We need to make a choice to choose God.